this was a home run for us, and we're really excited to have the opportunity to be here. We arrived yesterday, went and practiced at the Saints facility yesterday, which was a great experience for our players with the weather to go indoors to go do that. And then today we will go practice at Tulane. We'll practice there to get some of the final things polished up, and then on Friday we'll have an opportunity to come here in the Dome and be able to catch some punts and some passes and kind of get acclimated to football in the Dome. We don't have a lot of players that have played here before, and so we're really excited about the opportunity to get over here on Friday and practice. But overall, this has been it's been a great couple days so far for us since we've been here. We had a fantastic function last night. When you talk about if your players are having fun at a bowl game, had the function last night at Shamrocks, where we had probably half our team on the stage rapping, and yet everybody was competing in all the video games all over the place. So they had a really good time last night, and then just starting to really kind of gear things down to the bowl game as we start getting closer and closer.
Questions?
Do you feel you have a connection to Arkansas and spending time in Fayetteville?
I have quite a connection. I grew up in Arkansas from the seventh grade all the way through high school, and then went to college from in Fayetteville. Very familiar with Arkansas State and many of the areas, and since coming back to northern Louisiana, having the opportunity to recruit Arkansas and get into a lot of the smaller towns there in southern Arkansas. But when I start to look at players like Kenneth Dixon, I know the quality athletes that are in the state of Arkansas for sure. But yeah, very familiar, and have quite a few friends that are coming down from Fayetteville for the bowl game.
What do you remember about playing for the Purple Dogs?
Oh, the Purple Dogs. I sit down and look. I saw where they were ranked second in the state this year. They're having great success. I mean, when I was in Fayetteville, it was more about the population was probably more in Little Rock. And since you look at the northwest corner and the way that is boomed now with Rogers, Bentonville, Springdale, and Fayetteville and everything up there, but the Purple Dogs, they were always better than the Red Dogs at Springdale. I know that much.
Coach, we were talking a little bit earlier just about how you said your team, it seems like they're not really getting overwhelmed by practicing at the Saints facility, the Superdome, the bright lights. How do you handle, or how's the team handling the maturity level?
I think this team is really, they've impressed me with their maturity. I think this game, as much as we want to be here and have a good time, it's about the game. And I think with the way that we finished this season, as disappointed as these players were with how we performed and how we finished the season, I think they're excited about the game. And what they've really done a great job of with the leadership we have, like the four captains that are here and some of the upperclassmen and the experience that we have, they have when we go to work. I mean, they're on the practice field, they're focused, they're dialed in. I think they walked in the Saints facility, and, like you said, there's the Lombardi Trophy, and you walk in there and it's like, wow, okay, let's flex. I mean, here we go, let's go play. And I think the same will be true to come in the Dome. I think they'll be excited to get into the Dome and see it on Friday and probably be a little wide-eyed, but by the time we get to Saturday, as we talk about all the time, this game is going to be about what goes on in between the lines and not the circus that surrounds it. And I think these players have done a really good job of really keeping their head. They're really focused and dialed in, and I think really excited to play.
You mentioned Kenneth Dixon. What was your impression of him when you first got there? Just kind of what has he meant to you guys?
I got to know Kenneth as a person before a player. When you first come into a job, it was about hiring your staff, recruiting, getting on the road, and I was hired in December, and we didn't even start getting with our players until really February after signing date. But Kenneth was always in the office. You got to know him, and it was like, wow, he's such a great young man, mild-mannered, very humble in how he handles himself. And then you put on the film from the year before and you went, holy smokes, that's not the same guy. That guy's angry. I mean, he's vicious, angry, physical, the way he plays the game. And so for me, it's been an awesome experience for me to have the opportunity to coach him. I've been around some great running backs in my career. I've been very blessed with guys like Ricky Waters, Rocket Ishmael, Chris Johnson, Sammy Smith, a lot of guys that had a lot of success even at the next level. And the one thing I say about Kenneth is they're all very talented, but they're all very passionate. They're all very passionate, and they play the game with an attitude, and that's one of the things that I think makes Kenneth such a special runner with the ball under his arm.
That being said, you think he has a chance to next level?
I do. I mean, there's so much that goes into that. You have to stay healthy. He's going to get his opportunity, and then he's going to have to make the most of it. But I certainly think that he has the skill set to play at that next level. It's just what teams he get to and making the most of his opportunities once he gets there.
It doesn't seem like, numbers-wise, at least carries-wise, realize he's been as big a part of your offense as last year. I mean, how has he handled that? I mean, has he been kind of okay with that, or there?
I have said that this team is one of my favorites that I've ever coached, and I've had teams that have won more games and won championships. I don't know that I've ever been on a team that's as unselfish as this one. This team that we get down there, Kenneth is vying for the record of the 83 touchdowns, and we throw the ball to Trent Taylor, and the first guy there to meet him is Kenneth Dixon. You know what I mean? Holding him up, running off the field, jumping up, kicking his heels together. I mean, he's got a youthful innocence when he plays the game. And it's not about records, it's not about touchdowns or what I do. And that's one of the things that's so impressive, not just about Kenneth, but also about Jeff and Trent Taylor and Paul Turner and Carlos Henderson, a lot of the skill players on our team. They're not asking for the ball. I've been there, you know what I mean? And that's hard when you're trying to keep somebody happy. These players aren't like that. I think one of the reasons that Kenneth has not been as big a part, Kenneth hurt his ankle about halfway through the season and missed 2 games, and honestly probably should have missed 4 to 5. But Kenneth is one of those guys that I would tell Jabbar Jalouk, it's like, you know, get him off the field. We got to rest him. And you pull him off the field, and the next play he's running back in there. It's like, Jabbar, he goes, Coach, I'm trying. He keeps running in there. I got to pull him out the next play. He just wants to play, and there's nothing that's going to stop him from getting on the field. But I do think probably the last 4 or 5 games, to be fair to him, he's played on one leg. I mean, he really has. He's fought through it. He's pushed through it. He's wanted to play and wanted to get out there, and that's just the attitude that he has. But with the couple weeks off that we've had, I think this will be the healthiest game he's played since probably the 4th or 5th game of the season.
Coach, how has it been with the adjustment from going to East Carolina to South Florida to now Louisiana Tech? How has it been with the adjustment and everything, and how do you like Ruston now to compare to your 2 other jobs?
Having the opportunity, this profession, you move around a lot. And I know I joke all the time that by the time I was in the 8th grade, I lived in 8 states. I thought we were running from the IRS. Then I realized my dad was a football coach, and that's kind of what football coaches have done. So we moved around a lot, and then I'm kind of putting my children through the same thing. And I have 3. I have 2 in college right now, and 1 that's in Ruston High School. But you know, as you take each stop, there are things, the little nuances about each school that you have to learn and that you have to take with you and incorporate into what you do. And I have had a great experience in Ruston. I think there's great people in Ruston. There is, I think, the academics, the support from the administration, from Dr. Geist to Tommy McClellan. I think it's been a great situation, and we're trying to build something. When you look at this program, this is the first time since the mid-'70s that we've been to back-to-back bowl games, and this senior class has a chance to be the most winningest 1A class in Louisiana Tech history. They have a chance to be the only team to win 2 bowl games as a class. They have a chance to, we only have 3 bowl wins in our school history, so we have a chance to add a 4th to that, and one of those was last year's Illinois game in the Heart of Dallas Bowl. And so I think there are a lot of reasons that motivate these players. But I think as we are building this program, I think it really has a chance to be something special and trying to create the consistency, but it all starts with those guys that are sitting around those other tables. When you have guys like Vern Butler, Kentrell Bryce, Jeff Driscoll, Kenneth Dixon, it makes you a lot better football coach.